Warning. The Reddit Asks Us podcast contains explicit material and mature subject matter that may not be suitable for all audiences. Audience discretion is advised.
Hi guys, I have taken over Luke's podcast. Welcome back. We have Luke here with us again today, as he always is. Podcast number 66 or 67. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe for more. And if you're watching on Spotify, make sure to...
Watching on Spotify?
Fucking... If you're listening on Spotify, make sure to give it a like and save it. I don't know what you do on Spotify.
No, it's pretty close. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcasts, make sure to leave us a rating and leave us a review. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Reddit Asks Us Podcast, where we post new clips of the show every week. Of course, Marvel is the host today.
Hi, everyone. Yeah. Keep it
I'm
going.
the guest.
Keep it for the vibes. I know.
This might be a little bit of a lower energy podcast.
Yeah, we had some not good food for us, and now we're
It legitimately
tired.
makes me tired. Like, I'm tired.
Is that what they...
Like, I just kind of wouldn't even be opposed to just like falling asleep
Okay, we're
right
on my
now.
podcast right now. Can you please get it the fuck together?
Get it together,
No,
okay?
yeah.
Okay, this is
Like-
Hollywood.
Yeah. It's like the big screen right
You
now.
think you can make it in LA like this? You think you can make it in LA with that attitude? Yeah, that's what I
I
fucking
had
thought.
Kim Kardashian on here the other week. Don't pull the sleepy shit with me. You're lucky to even
I feel
be
like
on
you and
here.
Kim would get along.
We would not.
Why?
No, maybe. She has a really good sense of humor, and I think
she's a businesswoman. Like, she could tell you what it's like to own her little company that does the
her little company.
the company that does the skin tight clothing.
Skims.
Yeah. I don't even know what that
Skims.
is. Like, what is it? Is it underwear? Is it clothes?
Do I look like I can afford to even be
I have
looking
no
at shit
idea.
like
I
this?
have no idea.
No, I don't look at things that will make me sad. So I don't.
I actually try not to make myself depressed.
I'm already clinically
Yeah.
depressed. I don't try to.
I don't need to
force.
force it into my life.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Right.
Okay. Welcome everybody to the podcast, by the way. Sorry if this is a lower energy episode or maybe even just a shorter episode, but you know what? I don't give a fuck.
Okay, that's quite about enough.
That's a little aggressive. You think you're going to make it in Hollywood with that attitude?
Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay. So today's Would You Rather is which world-ending event would you rather live through right now? And
Astro World? Astro World? No, for real. I'm sorry to laugh. I know it's like a really...
Astro World. That's just the only option.
No, because, like, how bad was it? Dead ass. Like,
Yeah.
it was horrible.
I'm just
And
gonna.
no
I
way.
just have to say it just so I can clip this. An AI takeover or a zombie apocalypse. However, Astroworld is really fucked up.
No, dead ass. It was so bad. I'm sorry that I laughed. It was like, you know, when you like have like a traumatizing situation and your way to get through it is like laughter through coping.
Yeah.
No, it was like horrific. Like,
And you know
people
what's
died.
fucked up about it too? Though is that Travis Scott literally looked like he just didn't give a fuck.
No, you know
Like,
what
his
was
videos,
circulating?
the videos that he put out,
Oh my god, he's like
apologizing are
rubbing his
so
fucking forehead.
horrible.
And I'm like,
Horrible,
dude, I'm
man.
like gonna like knock you out dead ass. Like they released like a video of somebody passing out in an Adele concert. This girl stopped singing, stopped the band, stopped everything, and it was like, can everybody look like they give a fuck, please? And she made sure they got help and would not stop until she made sure that like she wouldn't start again until they made sure she was fine.
I wouldn't
Like-
even call Travis Scott's concert a concert. It
was,
was like
like,
a
demonic.
it was like a rave. Like, it was like a fucking
No, it was horrible. Like the way people described it was like there was sinkholes of people. Like people were legitimate.
Wow.
No, did you not read like
That's
how?
so crazy.
Did you see this TikTok?
People
I,
are absolute
really wanna
fiends for
show
Travis
you.
Scott. And that little boy that died too, like, he's probably one of those like Fortnite kids that's, you know, like
No, legitimately,
bought
like,
his Travis Scott Fortnite skin and is super pumped to go and see him at concert and then literally ends up dying.
No, like I want to show you the video that I saw that was released of this girl like screaming and being like, you have to help them. Like she went up to the camera crew and was screaming at them.
They
and
don't
was
give a
like, there's
fuck.
people dead there. Like
And
they're dying. And the camera was like fuck off. Because
Yeah,
the
yeah.
concert had to continue. Kylie posted on her fucking Instagram a picture of it, and there you could see an ambulance in the crowd. It was flashing in her picture. And Travis could see it. Like they both knew.
He's like notorious for like being extremely strict on his concert. Like, I remember there's a video of him, and there's some guy just going to change a mic stand on the concert or whatever it's called, on the stage, and he's so rude to him. He's like, goofy ass, like, get your goofy ass out of here, like, you know what I mean? Just humiliating him in front of all these people, and he's just going out there to change a mic stand. He's part of the crew.
No, it's
you know what I mean? It's like, who cares, dude? He's literally just like, what are you like? Just let him change a mic stand, dude.
Did you see the fuckers who were like standing on top of the police cars and the ambulances, like dancing as if they weren't trying to get to unconscious people? Like, it was a dead ass a joke to them the entire time it was going on. Like, yeah, you can make jokes about it now. Like, thank God people survived and people are okay now that it's over. But, like, as you're going through it, ambulances are trying to get through to people. And people were dancing around, like, not giving a fuck. Travis didn't give a fuck. Kylie didn't give a fuck. The camera people didn't give a fuck. Everybody who had the power to change something did not care.
Because
like,
it's about celebrity status, you know what I mean? It's like if somebody is a celebrity, people see them as gods, you know what I mean? People see them as like these crazy elite people who are so above the law and everything. There's people trying to sue Travis
too. Like, that is so nuts that it's like we're like okay with going through shit like this because it's one person rapping a fucking song. Like, it's
wild,
nuts.
Man. Like, that's wild.
Like, I legitimately, like, our hearts go to any of the family that was hurt, anybody who was injured, anybody who did not make it out.
And anybody who also thinks that this is pretty fucked. Like
this is insane.
Like, I feel like a lot of people out there are not even phased. Like, they're like, oh, that's what happens at a Travis Scott concert. I'm like,
no, Dennis, I was like reading the article of the girl who was screaming at the cameraman. She released an article of her opinion and like what it was like being in her experience, I mean. And fucking, like, I cried in the car because I was like, Jesus Christ, like, people went to have a good time to see an artist they care about, and some people didn't make it out. Like, they were crushed to death by other people trying to make sure they didn't fall. What a brutal way to die.
And I also heard people were like injecting other people with drugs too.
Opioids. There was a security guard who was like had to go.
Fentanyl and shit, man.
Yeah, like for drug overdose. And it was like, geez.
Could you imagine, like, you're 14 years old at a giant concert like this and somebody sticks a needle in you?
And this is what you think concerts are? Like, it's not. It's not what it's like.
That is so
It's legitimately, like, we laughed about it at first, but it is, in this day and age, like, a huge disaster that happened. Like, 300 and more people injured at a concert.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
It's so fucked
That's almost
up.
as bad as, like, a shooting.
No,
you know
dead ass.
I mean?
It's like the same numbers as a shooting. Like, 8 people are dead, and probably more. Like, it's still, people are in the hospital and stuff, like, fighting for their life because of a concert that they paid for.
That's just so fucking crazy to think about.
Like, we're laughing because it's insane.
God.
Like,
it just doesn't seem real. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Anyways, we should move on from this.
Yeah, but like what was the 2 options that you actually gave?
Okay. So the would you rather for this week is, would you rather which world-ending event would you rather live through? An AI takeover or a zombie apocalypse?
Zombie apocalypse.
Really?
Are you fucking kidding me? Or wait, like, live through as in you survive till the end, or like you have to live through it?
It's whatever happens to you. So, like, and during an AI takeover, like, you basically live until you die. And same thing with zombie apocalypse. You live until you survive until you die. So you just choose one or the other as your fate.
Okay, maybe an AI. Oh, I don't know.
Why was zombie apocalypse come to your mind as like the first thing?
Because when I heard live through, I thought you meant like you lived through it. Like, you went through it and then you survived afterwards and it was over. But like, if you mean
something
live
like a zombie
like,
apocalypse ever really end? Like,
that's true.
The Walking Dead's been going on for like 12
that's
seasons.
That's the reason why I was like, are you kidding? I'm a badass like them. I'd love to be in a zombie apocalypse. But I'm like, I'm such an emotional bitch. Like, the first time I would see a zombie, I would
like you'd get hardened up pretty quick if you're trying to survive.
Do I look like I would make it? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm looking.
Man, there's a lot of people on that show who not necessarily look like they'd make it.
My Snapchat story is called My 13th Reason, Luke. I am on the brink constantly. One zombie and I'd be like, fucking just eat me and let me go. Damn. Like,
that's such a violent way to die.
Okay, but it also depends on the zombie. Like, do they walk slow? If you've got running zombies, I'm fucking gone.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
out.
Fucked.
Are you kidding me? If I'm out running a zombie, I'm dead. I don't even run to catch the bus. I'm not fucking...
There is no bus.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't even run to go to a bus stop to catch my bus. I'm not running from no zombie. That's it. Just eat me. Like, it's done.
But that's just such a horrible way to die.
But think of an AI takeover. Like you're a slave now.
Yeah, but think about it. Like the Matrix. Like they don't even know they're slaves. You know what I mean?
Where you could already say, like, theoretically, we are already in an AI takeover.
Probably.
We're all connected through our phones. You cannot get to another person without using an electronic. Your face is scanned to get onto your phone.
Our world is like so dependent on
No,
AI.
legitimately. Like, to get even school notes, you have to go on the internet. To get onto your phone, it scans your face.
Well,
it scans your fingerprint. Like, it's all, like, vaccine passports are on a phone. To do anything these days, you need the internet.
Peep this. So if the sun has what's called CME, coronal mass ejections.
So, the sun?
Yeah, the sun, our sun, right?
Like
so that's as a star, like it has something called coronal mass ejection, right? So that means it's basically like concentrated areas on the sun where there's high intensity explosions.
Oh yeah, I saw pictures of those. They look like fucking like upside down U's, like horseshoes. Or whatever.
They'll shoot out right into space. Crazy. But the thing is that those coronal mass ejections release what is it called again? Waves like it's radioactivity is not it is radioactive, but it's not the word I'm looking for. It's
emissions.
Yeah, it releases a certain type of emission that if a large enough coronal mass ejection happened, it's something like that. I can't remember.
Something that's dangerous.
Well, basically, if anything, like there was an event that already happened like this, but if there was a coronal mass ejection large enough that hit Earth, it would knock out all the power systems, every satellite, everything electronic. This happened back in 1815 or something. It was called the Carrington event, and it basically destroyed all telegraph lines at the time. But if one of those events were to happen today, it would basically just cause a giant world blackout. And the thing is like you're saying, like we're so dependent on technology. Like, wouldn't that almost be a really like shit apocalypse too? Like,
no, that would legitimately be its own apocalypse. Like some people can't survive without it, and it's not even to the point where like, oh, I can go without my phone for a couple of hours. I know personally, my rent is taken through my phone. My bank accounts are taken through my phone. Lights, food, refrigerator, freezer, everything is run by something else that is controlled either by internet or electricity to some level. Like we would not.
Think about shipping. Like all these people who ship stuff, computers. It's all done through computer systems.
Like to go back in the day, like if they didn't have fridges, they.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
My bad.
That was my
foot.
foot.
What the fuck is happening?
That was my foot.
No, but like. Back in the day, they couldn't refrigerate shit, so all they ate was like potatoes.
Yeah, they stuffed it under the ground to keep it cold.
Legitimately, like we would not.
Dug holes
and
in
with
the ground.
global warming, that's not happening for us. And we could cook a potato with the way that the Earth is going right now if we stuck it underground.
People would be so fucked.
No, literally.
Like I'm thinking about it myself.
Can you imagine celebrities without the internet? What even is a celebrity at that point? They wouldn't
Nothing.
be
Doesn't
celebrity
exist.
anymore.
No, that's why there's a world. There's a world. That's why there's this world that I have. No.
It's like right in my head when I dream at night.
I have these weird reoccurring dreams that just happen all the time.
Oh my god, the Mandela effect. Our alternate universe where it was Berenstain instead of Berenstain.
Oh god.
Don't even get me started on that. There's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, that.
Anyways, another world.
I was struggling to figure out what I was gonna say, but there's a movie with Seth Rogen and James Franco and all these guys. It's called This Is the End.
Oh.
And it's basically just this satirical movie about what would happen if there was a giant apocalypse, and there's a bunch of celebrities. Yeah, it's fucking so funny.
Didn't they go on like a Ferris wheel at some point? Like they go into like some sort of amusement park?
No. That's that one movie with like that
and there's, like,
Steinberg
two-
kid.
yeah,
No, that's the
there's,
zombie movie. That's with that's with what the hell is everybody in that movie? Emma Stone's in that movie. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's like How to Kill Zombies or something, or I can't remember the name of the movie.
There's so many weird.
It's a good movie.
Life, you know.
It's called
Zombieland.
Zombieland. It's called Zombieland.
I've seen that one
yeah.
also.
You know, and but the one I'm talking about is, it's like so. basically the rapture happens, like in the
Yeah.
Christian whatever. I'm sure you're familiar with the rapture.
No.
What do you mean the
What
rapture?
do you mean? I'm
So it's like
Christian,
it's
not a. We don't talk about the zombie apocalypse in the
no, it's
Bible.
it's not a zombie apocalypse. It's like the rapture is like
The end of time.
the end of times, and so
Oh,
like
hell yeah,
God,
we do talk
God
about-
like will shine down beams of light that all the heaven sent people will go up to heaven, and all the other people will
It's
be
not like
left
a fucking.
on earth. And
No. What the fuck? They don't get zoomed up like aliens, like through the light.
yeah, it was like they'll
It's
get
like
taken
the
into
end of
heaven or
times.
whatever.
Like everybody's dead. Like it's done. Nobody's left on Earth. Earth is done. It collapses. It's done.
and the devil takes over or whatever. Earth.
No,
But-
the devil is
Well,
taken out.
well,
But
anyways,
this
it's
is not
like
even
their take. It's like their take on that sort of rapture type event.
okay.
And it's like, so these people just keep floating up into the sky, and and
Sorry. That
just like
Jesus
the
Christ.
world just goes to shit, and everything's burning, and everyone's dying. But it's funny because there's these celebrities all in a house together, and it's like they basically become nothing once the world is over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everyone reverts back to like a primal human nature. And I think that's one of the funnier reflections of the film is not even about
Yeah.
all the
Oh my
apocalypse stuff.
God.
It's more so about like, oh, it doesn't matter who you are, like into those types of situations.
You know what we should watch when you're talking about the AI invasion? There's this movie called 9. It's at the same level of like Coraline kind of horror.
No, I feel like
And
I've heard of.
it's-
No. Isn't it with the little stuffed?
Yes,
things?
the Stitch Punks.
No. You've told me about this.
Yes, I
movie.
have because we
Yeah.
have to watch it.
Yes.
Everybody who's watching, go watch 9. I have not seen it,
I need
so
to go.
if
I need
it's
to
shit,
watch
don't come back to me.
No,
and be
no,
like, "Don't tell me
I've
to
heard
watch
it. I've heard it's good.
We
I
have
heard
to watch
about it
it
for years when I was a
because
kid.
it's an
after.
AI invasion, and I'm like, I kind of want to see it, but like
Don't
life
spoil
ends.
it. No
Okay.
spoilers.
I'm not fucking okay, but like, anyways, I want to watch it.
No, but okay. If I'm thinking to myself, to be honest, like, I feel like I personally would want to go AI takeover over zombie apocalypse because man,
it
zombie like could you
depends.
like first season Breaking Bad, like a guy literally gets his stomach ripped open.
Breaking
eating
Bad
and
or
all- I mean,
like-
Breaking Bad. I mean, sorry, Walking
I'm
Dead.
like, sir, that is drugs.
No. Hey, actually, funny enough that I said that. The creators of Breaking Bad and The Walking Dead have said that the universes are related, and that the zombie
I have
apocalypse.
never seen Breaking Bad.
What?
I'm sorry.
Oh
Am
my
I gonna?
God.
I'm the host of this podcast. Don't speak to me like that. I was just about to say I'm gonna get kicked out, but I'm like, wait, I run the show here.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. This is my show now.
Yeah. So as the host, I've not watched Breaking Bad, but I will. I will.
It's so good.
I've watched The Walking
Honestly,
Dead
though,
though.
it's one of those
Daryl.
shows. What you've seen Walking Dead though?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Daryl?
like dying that way, like I'd rather
Yeah,
die
that
from like an
would be
AI
bad.
takeover because I know that because the whole idea in like those AI movies is that we need to eradicate the species because the humans are a whatever, like they're a a nuisance to the planet or whatever, and so the AI will take them out. But it's like at least it's like painless. At least it's like okay, well if there's an AI robot coming up to me and it just goes boom, shoots me in the head,
That's
and I'm
true.
dead. Like okay, whatever.
Zombie, it's like there's so much more emotion behind it because like let's
Totally.
say the person you love gets bit, you have to kill them like twice almost. It's like they're dying twice to you. Like not only do they end up turning into a zombie that is no longer themselves, but like now, and you also have to be like physically fit. I feel like I could hide for quite a bit in like a little bunker.
I would just hate
robot.
running all the time.
But
though.
also,
like,
you would
constantly
never
being on the
survive.
run.
No, you would never survive if it's AI. Are you kidding? They just have to have raiders and like
Yeah.
for heat.
It's
Fucking
true.
we'd all be dead in 2 minutes. Nobody could hide. It's impossible to hide. How would you get past the AI? At least with
Like
the
you
zombie,
said, right now, any like centralized organization or any technology company knows where you are right
Deadass.
now.
Not
There's
only
satellites
that,
in the sky
but
that know
like,
exactly
let's
where
say,
you
like,
are right
they
now.
have robots that can like actually do all this shit and travel themselves.
And just like
Are
pull
you
up to
kidding?
the apartment and just
No,
bust
deadass,
down the
like-
door.
Like I'd have zero chance. Yeah, no, we'd have zero chance. If you actually want to like let's say you're like mentally stable right now and listening to this, which is really weird, but like you're mentally stable, right? And you like want to take
Let's start with that. Okay, pretend you're mentally stable.
and like you want to take like a little gander at trying to stay alive. You're like, I might want to like live a little bit some more. You could survive a zombie apocalypse. You get a boat, you get yourself, And you go to an island.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? You could survive on an island.
That's
People
true.
do. And I'm
That's
like,
true.
it like pisses me the fuck off when I'm
An
watching.
island living would be kind of nice. You know what I mean?
No, dead
Like,
ass. Like, what are
there-
they
you know
gonna
there's-
do? Swim?
You know, there's over 17,000 uninhabited islands in Indonesia.
Make them inhabited now.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You could even start a civilization on these little islands. Like you could.
Yeah,
help
bring like 10 of
humanity.
your friends.
It would
there-
feel
what's the number?
like,
There's like a certain amount of men and women that you'd like need to bring to a place in order to create like a wide enough gene pool to sort of keep people going. It's like
Well, I
it's
don't
actually
fucking
a
know.
lot,
I'm
man.
in-
I think
I'm
it's
in
actually
the
quite
arts.
a lot.
I'm a psychology major. I don't fucking know.
Hey, it's a
But,
social
like,
science.
But well,
You got to do
the
stats
science
to
for
get
the
there.
mentally ill. But like, anyways, it's like.
I'm in psychology because I want to understand my own mental illness.
That's true. And my psychology professor said that first day of classes. She's like, I know some of you are here to try to figure yourself out. And I was
Yeah.
like, damn, bitch. Like, yeah, but like, you don't have to say
Wait,
it to my face.
why is she a bitch?
That's what I'm saying. But I'm
What?
doing good in the class, so I really like her actually.
Mm.
But actually, I'm not doing that good. I'm like, it's my lowest class right now. But anyways. No, you know what I think would happen on these islands too, though? Like, you also have to take that into account. Have you ever read Lord of the Flies?
Yeah, I did. in
I
grade
feel
12.
like the islands would become Lord of the Flies. Like, there'd have to be a leader. The first one who got
Yeah,
there,
but they
you'd
were
fight.
kids though, man. Like they were kids.
But it's symbolic. The reason that
it's
the book
true.
did well is because it's symbolic of what people would
They're
do.
not as rational as adults though. A kid, little
Have you
young
met
kids.
some adults?
Yeah, that's
Are
very
you kidding?
true. Well,
You're telling me the
Lost.
first person
Lost.
who
Did
no
you ever see Lost?
no
Oh yeah, that's true. Lost gets really pretty messed
no,
up.
but like think about it. The first
Weird
person
show,
who
though.
gets to the island is going to be the leader. At some point, the island is going to be over-inhabited, and somebody's going to have to decide to like, what are we gonna do? You know what I'm saying? But that's all like in a future thing. That's if you want to survive.
True, but at the same time, like
personally-
you can also try to your best to create like a what is it
A
called?
safe house or whatever.
No, an indigenous style of living. Like that's not impossible either. People do it, so it's clearly possible.
I like that. Just seems like it's really bad for my anxiety. I would just
Indigenous
rather,
living?
no zombies.
Yeah. Like what?
No, I think I could do indigenous living. I'm a poor college student. I already do indigenous living. I just
Yeah.
survive like this. But like I just think it would be like really bad for my anxiety to constantly like be looking over my shoulder for zombies. I think I would just
I know,
I
right?
would prefer the AI. I'd be like, well, if I get taken out, it is what it is.
It is what it
man.
is, man.
And like, what if people
And it's
decided
painless,
to be
it's
like
over, like,
an
it's done.
underwater society instead because they can't scan through water or whatever, or too deep water? Are you kidding? Atlantis? I would love AI. Either die or Atlantis. Come on now.
Yeah, it's
It
true.
is no question. AI.
AI's the way to go. All right, everybody. So let's open up the show. I don't think I played you the opening intro to the show last time,
Open
did
up
I?
the safe. No.
Mm.
I just gotta let the safe room. Have you just heard that song?
No.
Okay.
No, let's move on.
Okay. Sorry.
Hey, Reddit, hey, Reddit, ask us podcast, hey, Reddit, ask
Okay.
podcast. We're gonna cryogenically freeze your body.
I didn't lose. You either win or you learn.
Back to the Reddit podcast, Reddit, ask us podcast.
Okay, guys. Welcome back into the
That-
show.
That was not bad. I
Yeah.
rated a solid 8 out of 10.
I kind of threw it together. It's honestly not
Little long.
my best work, but
Little long. I've heard you do better. That's why I'm like 8 out of 10.
okay. All right. I'm not gonna doubt that. I agree. I
Yeah.
think it could be better too, but it was
We'll
one of
work
those things
on
that I kind of just threw together, and I was like, all right.
It's cute. It's a little.
It's
a little.
cute. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, now for the meat and potatoes. The
Thanks.
this,
Okay,
you know,
you're gonna have
the
to-
bite into this podcast that
People-
is the juiciness of the real reason why you're here. Okay. I'm a poet. Okay.
The true Edgar Allan Poe of today.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he was like my Annabelle Lee, and
The
you're
m-
like the juices of this podcast.
The meat and potatoes of the juices
Okay,
of why
yeah,
you're
no,
here.
like we got it the first time. Let's,
Dude, Annabelle Lee, I read that poem.
dude, his shit
I used
was
to,
so
dude, I
sad.
used to do a poetry podcast before I did this, and I used to read poetry, and
I'm
and
sorry,
that was
I don't mean to laugh. I'm sure it's legit. It's like for everyone and their grandma. Like, what are you reading? Is it like an
Poetry.
audible book? Like it was like an audible thing?
Yeah, I put it on Apple Podcasts and stuff. I just read like public domain poetry.
That would be nice ASMR, I feel like.
Some of the poems were like, honestly, it wasn't what I really wanted to do. But to be honest, I can't lie and say that I didn't enjoy reading the poetry, just reading it, because like it was fun. Like,
you know what I love? Like, it reminds me like I'm not the only person. Like, I feel like sometimes I'm like, damn, like I need so much therapy, like so I can like do good. They were so mentally ill and they wrote it down, and they're like they're like famous.
What's her name? Emily Dickens or something or whatever.
Sure, whatever. I don't.
But
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Edgar Allan Poe was
dude, his life was so
messed
fucked up.
up.
No,
messed
so
up.
bad.
But that
Like, he
poem,
lost
Annabelle Lee,
his-
that's one of my favorite poems. I
He
love
lost
that
his
poem.
mom, dad, sister, brother. He lost everyone. He got sick.
Did
was
he
like,
write the story? We read it in grade 12. It was called like
the one where it's like the eye, like the fucking vulture's eye that watches him every night, and how he ended up cutting up. Like, he wrote about somebody, I think, who had schizophrenia in a house with their owner, the owner of the house, and the owner
Yeah, I
slept
think I
with
read
an
this.
eye open because they had a fake eye, and he thought it was watching him and knowing his sins, and it gave him so much paranoia to the point where he killed the owner of the house, cut him up, put him in the floorboards. And then when the police came by, he like cooked for them, I think, a piece of his heart, or he cooked for them, and it was going good until the voices in the walls that the man that he killed
my
started getting to him,
God.
and he opened up the floorboards and showed them. He's like, I killed him because he heard the beating of his heart through the floorboards.
That's fucked.
And I was
I
like,
don't think I
Jesus
read that one. I read another really
No,
messed up one in grade 12 too. But there's this one called
The Raven.
yeah, that's the one I read. But there's another. I don't know if this is by Edgar Allan Poe, but I do know it was messed up, and it's called it's like the catacombs or something of
Oh my God, yeah, where they would like he like chained somebody up in the
yeah,
catacombs.
in the wine cellar. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, why do I remember
is that
that?
Edgar Allan Poe?
I don't know, but I remember like the two guys like went down there.
No, it's their names. What are their names? It's like it starts with an M.
Malcolm.
No,
Macadam-
no,
I
it's
don't know.
it's
I'm
it's
sorry, I
Italian.
don't
It's
know.
Italian. It's like
Mario.
no, fuck.
Come on now, that was a good guess. Mario.
It's like Montanello or
I don't know. And
Wait,
look
hold
up
up.
this
The Catacombs story. The Catacombs wine story. No.
Yeah, but he like chained him up down there. Like, he got him like super drunk.
Super drunk, yeah.
And like chained him down there. Why do we know? What was up with
But-
the schooling system that we were
no,
like
dude,
reading
that was
this
some of my.
shit?
I love that. I love reading
No,
those
same,
stories.
There was like this.
There's somebody's
one-
listening to this right now, and they're like, they know the name and the story, and they're just like,
No, like they're screaming like
Say
these
it.
fucking idiots.
say
The
it.
wine.
Yeah, like the wine cellar story, wine cellar,
Okay, you need to shut your ass up. It's the wine catacomb.
wine catacomb cellar story, locks, chains, basement, something like that. Keywords, SEO, filtering. I feel bad for the people who are listening to
The
this.
cast of Amontillado.
Oh no!
Amontillado.
No! Let me see it again.
Plot summary: Fortunato and
Fortunato.
Montresor.
No!
Drank in the
Montresor.
Who the fuck cares?
No, show me
Like,
the.
It
show me
is
the
Edgar
title.
Allan Poe.
Show me the story. Show me the name. What's this name of the story called?
The Cask of Amontillado or Monte.
Amontillado.
Oh fuck!
The Cask of
sound like a
Amontillado.
fucking idiot. Oh well.
The Cask of Amontillado. That's what it's called, and it's Fortunato. That's the guy who gets locked
Yeah,
in the basement.
he
And,
samples Amontillado and then
And then what's the Montenegro? What's the guy's name again?
Montresor.
Yeah.
Montresor.
Montresor. Yeah. Montresor and Fortunato. What a messed up story.
Oh my goodness.
But he hated him so much. He was like, I hate
No,
you.
and it's like for unknown reason. Edgar Allan Poe was on some.
And he
Have
just
you seen
left.
the
He just like
movie?
left. He
There's
just
a
peaced out.
movie. Dude, we have so many movies we need to
What
watch.
is
but
this?
Edgar Allan Poe. He's
About his life?
No, about his poems. They visualize it.
Oh fuck! This is gonna be fucked.
No, dead ass, because I literally got nightmares. Edgar Allan Poe movie. No, because everybody has to watch it. Like they did a movie on some of his poems, and it's like he is the
Oh, so he's the protector,
No,
the
he's
main
the
character?
raven. He's the narrator.
Oh,
There's a raven
shit.
flying around each
And
story.
every story, yeah.
And
definitely.
he's fucking...
This is already creeping me out.
No, Dinos. I think it's called The Raven. And it's a story on the book. No, we have to watch it. It's a 2012 film. Okay,
we'll
sorry,
watch
sorry,
it. Yeah,
sorry.
we'll get into the real
Everybody watch it.
Yeah, we'll get into the real content here because I'm sure people are like,
The
all
real
right.
meat and potatoes of the story.
Okay,
go.
so today's episode question is: do people bounce back between wanting a relationship and being single?
Yes.
So,
Sorry, I didn't. Yes.
so user Cupid Peach says, I'm in this place right now. I've been seeing some people casually and actually feel really horrible emotionally the next day if I end up sleeping with them. That leads me to believe that I'm not ready for any type of relationship, not even casual stuff. Okay, you know what?
They might be sad for another. Yeah, well, they might not be ready, but also at the same time, like, yeah, some people just honestly aren't built for casual stuff. Like, they get really emotionally invested into people, and that's just the type of people that they are. That casual doesn't work well for them. It doesn't give them the emotional gratification needed in a relationship.
True, but I feel like you got to figure that out, because if you're in a place of like wanting to be single but also wanting to be in a relationship, I think the next logical step for you in your brain is going to think, oh wait, we'll try something casual. You know what I'm saying?
No, like, what I would think is, like, if you want to be single and you want to be in a relationship, you have to understand what aspects of single life really call to you. It's not for some people it is the aspect of I can go out whenever I like and be with whoever I like. Then you'd go casual. But if it's something like I really treasure my alone time, or I really am not in an emotional space to invest in somebody else, then you have to deal with that and then get into a relationship if that's something that you want. It depends what about single life really attracts you. If it's like for example, I really like my alone time. That's something I love about single life. And I know
but you can still have alone time in a relationship
so
too.
that's something you have to learn with yourself, what it is that you like and don't like, and then accommodate to that. I know myself, I can't do casual, and you know it. I get too emotionally invested into people where I expect exclusive out of things where I'm giving my 100, I expect 100.
But see, another thing too though that I think that really complicates things is today I feel like there's this because of all the online dating apps and all the like rent a person sort of attitudes, right? Like it's like I feel like since we're in social media and how Instagram is basically just a giant dating app, like I feel like it kind of reinforces this culture of people not like being stuck in this state of being between a single and a relationship, because you're constantly bombarded with a profile here of somebody who's really beautiful, or this or that, or a Snapchat or a this, and people are like, I'd like to get into a relationship, but at the same time I want to stay single because like look at all the other people who exist out there. But it's like, well, in reality, you're only ever going to be with like a tiny fraction of those people.
Exactly. And that's the thing, though. The media also doesn't really talk about how to be content with yourself when you're single. Like, it's either you have to be hyper happy when you're single and love yourself enough, or you have to be like hating that you're single. There's a difference between being happy single and being content single, and we talked about this. You don't have to be happy being single. You can dream of yourself being in a relationship. If you dream of marriage or dream of something that's very exclusive with somebody else that treasures you and you treasure them, you're not going to be extremely happy being single, because that's not where you want to see yourself. However, you can be content. You can be content knowing that that will come. You can be okay with the spot that you're at in life, knowing that it's not forever, that it's temporary. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are like, you have to be happy single. You have to be happy just being by yourself. You can be content being by yourself. But
that doesn't mean you want to be single your entire fucking life. Like
it's like,
who wants that?
Legitimately, it's like, I'm just going to compare it to like vegetarian and like carnivore. Like, I could want to be like eating meat all the time. But if I live my life, at least like I go a week every month being vegetarian, I don't have to be happy doing so, but I can be content knowing that I will be eating meat next week because I've planned that in my schedule. The same thing works for relationships. Like, you don't have to be extremely happy being by yourself. It's hard to do so. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to not want to be in a relationship, especially because not only are you flooded when you go to social media with people like happy together. Nobody posts about the hardships that's in a relationship.
Totally.
Nobody posts about we had a fight today or it's hard, like getting along with people. And
Some people.
no, dead ass. The way that they post their relationship, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking cut
So
you both. Like,
toxic.
it's like
So toxic.
legitimately, like nobody talks about how sometimes love on some days is a choice that you have to make. It's the trust, it's the loyalty that you have to choose all the time. You know what I'm saying? Nobody talks about that. It's always like lovey-dovey all the time when you go online. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's because nobody wants to look like they have a weak relationship, but in all honesty, it's human. So you don't have to be happy single, but you have to realize, like, if it's not something that you want to be single forever, it'll come. But you just have to be content knowing that you're preparing yourself, just like the person you're waiting for is also preparing themselves.
A problem though that I have though is that this person is like, yeah, they feel emotionally guilty if they end up sleeping with somebody, and I'm like, if you're at this place where you're like in between wanting a relationship and wanting to be single, I feel like, why are you trying to put yourself out there at all if you don't know what you want? You know what I'm saying? Like, because now you're getting other people involved. You know what I'm saying? I always try to have a policy of like, you know, if I'm not actively looking for a relationship, then why I would never go and try to pursue somebody, because then it's like, well, what am I doing at the end of the day? You know what I mean? Because I'm giving somebody a false promise or something, or you know, I'm much more comfortable having somebody come up to me and, you know,
but
ask
also,
me
like,
rather than.
I get that, but also on the other side, like, let's take a look at media. Like, a really, really popular movie that a lot of girls and guys, like, fangirl over is fucking, that movie, you know, where it's, like, two really famous actors, and she's, like, they start sleeping together to keep it casual, and then they become
Friends with Benefits.
Friends with
That's,
Benefits.
Mila Kunis and Justin Timberlake.
That's not the only movie that I can think of where it starts off casual and they communicate that it's casual, and then it becomes more exclusive and something more when they fall in love with each other. Even the media doesn't really advocate well for healthy casual sex. You know what I'm saying? It always has to be something more.
So do you? Oh, that's interesting. So do you think that like that sort of casual relationship can end up in ways different than how the movies?
Yes,
Really?
I think it can stay casual. If that is,
wow,
I
that's
think,
interesting. I've never heard that perspective before.
Well, sometimes people are in different places in life. Like, imagine I'm deciding, like, one day, or hypothetical, somebody else is like, I want to be casual with you, and then at some point they don't want to be casual, but I still do. We're not going to continue. They're going to look for that an emotional thing elsewhere. So the casual
but don't you think
relationship
that messes up the relationship between the both of you?
I would hope not, but usually emotions do get into it. So yes, I don't think all casual relationships will, if you guys are constantly casual with each other, will end up being together. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying more like, do casual relationships always end in like the, either it was like people get hurt. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure there have been like adult ways to split it up. Like, if you guys just don't want to be casual with each other anymore and you still want to be casual with other people and you're just not connecting properly, then what's the problem in saying? If it's safe, sane, and consensual, then there shouldn't really be an issue. What this person is saying is clearly they're emotionally like guilty because they want to be with just one person. They want to be exclusive. That's the part they want about a relationship.
But commitment scares people. You know what I mean? And to be honest, though,
I don't really even understand that much, to be honest. I don't understand what about commitment is so scary, because you can realize later on that you don't want to commit. It's not a be all or end all.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, I can commit.
That's such a good point.
I don't know. This might seem like a very weird way to look at it, I guess, but I don't really understand the fear of commitment, because it's not that serious.
And
like, nobody's holding you at gunpoint. You can always go.
Exactly.
If your fear is hurting other people, that makes sense.
Yes.
But I don't understand the fear of commitment, because what does that mean? You're not getting married.
Yeah,
you can understand the fear of marriage because but then again, that also doesn't make sense, because if you've gotten with that person long enough to that point, you could always just communicate your worries.
Totally.
Commitment is never a set in stone. And even if you do get married, you can get a divorce. There's always a way out. There's never such a thing as like commitment that holds you in chains.
When it's like, I mean, I think our culture right now is so messed up with our views, because it's like we view divorce as a bad thing, but it's like, You know what, man? I think that it's just like, I don't think we're being taught how to properly be in relationships and how to communicate in the first place. Like if we were being taught some of like early relationship principles as young people and had better stability in terms of how we thought about relationships, like for example, what you're saying about you know, like this is kind of the mindset I have with going out with people, you know, like just dating around to see like if you match with somebody and click with someone. It's the idea that like if you hang out with somebody and you're liking hanging out with them and then you start dating them, then no one says that relationship has to last for 5, 6, 7, 10. You just take one day, one step at a time. You know what I mean?
There is a weird like pressure on people. I don't even understand like what it is that happens between the dating and then once you call it married, that destroys people. I think again, it is the weight of some sort of extra commitment that doesn't need to be there.
When people also feel like they have to get married too, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's insane. Like it's a societal thing.
If I
like,
don't get married before I'm 20 something, then my life is over. It's like
I speak for like girls I've seen on Instagram or even posts I've seen more like set towards women on social media where it's like, girl, you've been with him for like 5 or 6 years. When is he gonna get down on a knee? Like when is he gonna propose? How long are you guys gonna keep playing around? Like people think like they think of life as if you're trying to reach the next checkpoint. Like life isn't like that. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing we were talking about like with purpose. It's not a checklist like to get through life. And we've created in somehow, some way this like, well, I have to be done schooling.
Version of life.
Like I'll be happy if I finish schooling at this age and then I get married at this age and I have kids at this age. So that way I'll go into early retirement at this age. And whatever.
It's part of the system
that's
though,
the fear of commitment.
Perpetuates that sort of cultural
That's
thinking.
the fear that people have. The fear of being stuck in a box for their entire life and they don't know how to get out.
On the outside, the system promises you that, oh, if you do these things and abide by this traditional way of life, you will generally be happy. Where it's like, well, who's promising me that? You know what I mean? Like who's saying that like who's on whose authority is that being told to me? Where that is the truth, you know what I mean?
And
Where
it's not like marriage is a bad thing. It's the fact that people are pushed to believe like we have reached this level, we've been together for this long, it's time. Like why? I know one day I want to get married, but I don't have.
But if you're in a stale relationship for 3 years, are you going to be like, oh, this is the person I'm going to get married to?
No. And it's like and if it's like, if you both communicate that is something that you feel like you just want, just to feel like, you know, we've reached another level or something like that, that's fine. But if you feel like to be able to move forward in your relationship, that's what you need, then there's something going on there because it's going exactly
like, oh, getting married is gonna save our marriage. It's gonna like,
oh my god, when people stay together for the kids, stop, it does not work. Go away, both of you.
It makes it worse because the kids are just like, you guys hate each other.
No, dead ass, and
like coming home is whack.
No, oh my god, literally. It's like, why are mom and dad like fucking at each other's throats?
I had lots of friends in high school whose parents were definitely and are probably gonna get divorced soon. And
are you counting them down? Be like, yeah, they've got a couple.
No, because my friends would even tell me. My friends would be like, yeah, dude, my parents need to get a fucking divorce. Like, you know what I mean? Like they just hate each other. Like coming home is whack. Like they just fucking fight.
No, literally, like people these days don't even have a good depiction of love because of the relationship their parents have. Like, can you imagine? Like my parents, like if my parents were like fighting all the time, which they do, but like if my parents were like I know for a fact I didn't grow up with a really good depiction of what a healthy marriage looks like. So like I understand that and I've come to that conclusion. So now I have to figure out what what a healthy relationship looks like and what it doesn't look like at the same time. So I feel like people are pushed to be like, well, I'm not going to be my parents. And things like that. Like we don't even have like a healthy view of relationships anymore. So that's why people are like, well, we need to save it. We need to put a label on it. We need to do this. We need to reach this checkpoint or we're behind. Like we're behind in our lives. Like imagine somebody saying, I want to get married at 45. Tell me the shock and disgust people would look at them at 45. Like that's so late in life. But like, geez, like that's so like you're halfway through life. You are halfway there. You have usually statistically speaking, if you're like a healthy individual, another 40 years ahead of you in life. How, like, we have decided that you have to attain this right
Honestly,
now.
even if you're not healthy, because statistically speaking, we're not really the healthiest people, and we still gotta have a higher lifespan. So
That's true.
you know,
That is true.
we're not even the healthiest people. So
No, deadass. I'm like so
odds are you're probably gonna live a long time anyway. So
Yeah. Oh, don't say that to me. Don't say that to me. I'm
No,
trying to
what
cap
do
it
you
at.
mean?
I'm trying to cap it at a solid 50.
you want to peace out at 50?
Yeah. I feel like people will have, had enough of me. I've had enough of them.
I'd agree. You know what? To be honest,
You'd agree that you'd have enough of me at 50?
no. I'm saying that. If I left this world at 50, I'd be chilling.
No, dead ass.
I'd be fine with
I'd be
that.
like, damn.
If I left the
50
world
whole
at like,
years?
as long as I was able to feel as though I accomplished something while I was here, and that I
Yeah.
sort of had that I impacted people in some way, and that I was able to, be the best, or at least aspire
Aw.
to be the best version of myself. That's where I'm gonna leave it. So
Cries
I
in the
don't
club.
care.
That's so cute. I'm like, no, I'm done. I don't care if I accomplish
Well,
shit. I'm done.
that's the thing. It's like if I die at 25 and those things happen, then
Do
it's
you
like
know how much I spend
whatever.
on skincare so that I don't get wrinkles? I'm not.
I'm trying to live past 25.
No, I'm trying to look 6 when I'm fucking
Oh.
35. Well, no. I'm trying to look legal. I'm trying. Sorry. No.
Choose some better choice of words.
Rewind. Yeah,
Have the
no.
skin of a 6-year-old
That's so.
by skinning them alive and
Okay,
wearing their
you
skin.
got it. No, I knew it was coming. I saw it like formulating.
I'm trying to have the skin of a 6-year-old, so I'm gonna
I'm
murder
trying
children
to
and
have-
harvest their
I'm
skin.
trying to have baby smooth skin. My entire.
by killing babies.
like,
oh,
You need to just.
yes, right.
I'm contacting my
Sorry.
therapist about this. We're talking to you. I'm talking shit about you there. And so what I was saying is like I spent so much money.
Should I do it though?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Okay. So now that you've gotten that out of your system, moving on. I'm never coming on my podcast again.
Don't we just have the most fun here?
Now they think we have no fun. You don't say that.
What?
That's
I said
like
it last
saying, like,
time.
Aren't I so funny, you
Hey
guys?
guys, we're having fun. That's gonna be the
Okay.
thumbnail for the podcast. Just us staring at the camera, like just straight facing
I
it.
can't take it seriously. I look like such a creep. Anyways, look, I forgot what I was saying. I was saying something. Oh yeah, I was skincare.
Yeah,
Oh,
what?
forget
Yeah,
it.
what are you talking about? Okay, let's move on. Let's go on to the
anyways.
next one. Okay,
50.
so
Say goodbye to me soon, guys. I gotta
peacing
go.
out.
Yeah.
On the way out.
No, literally,
catch
I'm
you
gonna
guys
be
later.
like just one day after Superstar. I'm gonna be like, I think I've just about had it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, do you want to get a group
looking up at
together?
the sky,
And
like,
then- yeah, it's like
time's up.
God. Like
Yeah,
I
time's
just
up,
I
man.
told you my schedule, and I just
Yeah.
feel like this is a lot for my anxiety. Like
cut
I
it
just,
out,
that's what I'm saying. Smite me.
Get me out of there. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's what I'm saying. The
So,
Earth is
hurry
like
up.
I like
wrap
can't
it up.
pay $7 for bread buns anymore. I've had it. Like Sobeys is so fucking expensive for
Everywhere
no
is,
reason.
man. Everywhere is fucking super expensive now.
I'm
It's ridiculous.
tired. I'm
COVID,
tired.
man.
I've had quite a bit enough.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up, buddy.
50.
Let's wrap it up, big guy.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, we got
Not
it.
enough.
Yeah.
All right, so this one comes from Revolutionary Cap 967.
Oh my god.
When I feel discouraged with dating and I have bad dating experiences, like being ghosted or being lied to, or when it's a string of bad dates that go nowhere, I feel like being in
Sad.
that in-between place. But you know what, though, to be honest, man, like I remember this is very common for me when I get out of a relationship. About a month after, or every relationship's different, so it takes different healing times for different relationships. But it is one of those things where I will get out of a relationship and I will feel the wanting a physical connection, and as though that's somebody
Really?
will be there with me and spend time with me. But I just don't want a relationship because it's just the emotional work that you have to put into a relationship is too
Yeah.
much. And that,
Everybody in a relationship knows it genuinely takes like emotional work. It is
Does,
so
absolutely
easy
does.
for people on the outside to be like, break up with him, break up with her, or like shit like that. Nobody
Yeah.
knows the emotional investment you put into shit
That's
to
true.
make it work. when, especially in bad relationships, it feels like a job. Like it's horrible. And a part of you have to realize also at the same time, especially with like the dating age, like these days, and how people aren't really getting into relationships fully emotionally ready for it. Sometimes a little chunk of yourself is given to them, your energy, your time, shit like you can't take back is
You
spent
incorporate
with
them into your life.
exactly,
In a certain
and
extent.
the same thing on their end. Like you have to be getting it both ways. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a hard thing to do. You have to be ready for it. It's okay to not like being single. Being single can sometimes be lonely. And people are like, oh, well, you wouldn't feel lonely like if you had like friends and family and shit like that. Like the love that they give is a different type of love than that you get from a relationship.
Completely not comparable.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm very lucky to have the friends I have, but it's like the love that I get from somebody in a relationship is not the
Very
love that they're
different.
giving me. I'm not without love. I'm without a certain type of love that I want. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a different, deeper kind of connection when it's a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I get it. It's okay not to be happy single, but you have to be able to be content being on your own because of a lot of life. Sometimes you have to be able to pick your own ass up. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really good to be able to have somebody, but you also have to come to the conclusion that a lot of the hard times in life you're going to have to go through on your own. You have to be able to do that for yourself. You have to be able to, at the end of the day, go to yourself first.
It's true.
You know?
But then the difficult part with that, though, too, is that everybody, well, not everybody, but lots of people, most people do eventually want to end up with somebody. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So it's, you know, when you are in those times when you're single and you're kind of struggling and you're feeling lonely and stuff, it is hard not to think like, damn, like, I hope I eventually, end up with somebody, even though you don't necessarily want to be in a relationship right then. You do know in the back of your mind that you do hopefully want to get there one place, and then it can be discouraging sometimes because then you could think like, well, nothing's happening for me right now, and
That's the thing about relationships. We made them such like a monument that if you don't have one, it feels like you're not moving forward. And that's a sad thing. It feels
or if
like
nothing's going on in your relationship life at all.
yeah, then
Like
you
you're-
feel like I'm behind or I'm
you're
not
stagnant.
moving.
Yeah, exactly.
But you have to realize like life is moving. Like you are going forward.
Yeah.
There are, like I said to you, like doors opening that you don't know are being open, connections you're making that will lead you to people you've never met. Like life is constantly moving forward.
That's true.
And you're moving with it, but it just like you have
You're
to.
forced to.
Yeah, like if in this society, it kind of feels like you just have to, like, have a relationship to be able to be like, yeah, like I can do certain things, I can go certain places because my boyfriend or my girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? It's become such a monument kind of thing, like a trophy kind of thing. Like who dates really for emotion much these days? There's more that comes with it now. So it's like, I get the feeling of being unhappy single. It's kind of what the media is doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like you open up social media and it's people are obsessed with couples' relationship status. And nobody talks about how weird that is.
Yeah.
Like to know
And
which
it probably
celebrity
puts a
is
lot of
fucking
pressure on
who.
them too, because at the end of the day, they're just people, and then they might feel an outside pressure from all of the external sources that are saying, are you together? Are you not together? When it's
No,
like,
is that
to
not
them, they do not know the
insane?
intricacies of their relationships. You
Like,
know?
not to get into like who's celebrity and who's not, but like, Charli D'Amelio, like the 16-year-old TikToker. I don't know how old she is now, but she was 16 at the time. She was fucking dating this other TikToker, and everybody was obsessed with their sex life. Are they
Ew,
fucking? Are they
ugh,
kissing? Are
gross.
they like? She's a 16 or
Ugh.
17-year-old girl, and people still are. Any celebrity
The
who
people
hangs
are
out with
reporting on that, like, dude.
no, literally,
The
and like
fuck,
any
man? Come on,
celebrity
bro.
who hangs out with the opposite gender, they're dating. They have to be fucking. They're together. It is so like Jesus. It warps your head
And it
into
reduces
caring.
everything into that. Every relationship has to be that, and
Exactly.
But that works its way into kids' minds, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it
works
starts young.
because then now all these little girls who are 12 years old who are watching Charli do her little dances or whatever, now they're getting the impression that, oh, every guy that I meet, I have to be in a relationship
No,
with
not
them.
only that. Like, let's think about fucking like not to get too deep, but like Disney movies. If you genuinely focus on it, how depressed and sad are the people before they meet? Snow White was fucking had a stepmom who was evil, who tried to poison her. All of a sudden, she meets the huntsman and she's living her best life. We have fucking Rapunzel trapped in a tower, and the guy is a thief. They meet, and all of a sudden she's a queen, and they're rich, and they're living their best life. Tiana from fucking Princess and the Frog, she's poor. Because of racism, she can't get the restaurant that she wants, and she's working her ass off. And the guy is poor because his parents dipped on him because he's a little whore, like, you know, just wanting to do music and sleeping with everyone and doing whatever the fuck he wants. And then they get together, and all of a sudden they're happy, and it's happily ever after. Nobody before they get with their significant other in any movies is already happy. No one.
That's true. That's
no
funny.
one. No one is like, maybe you could say like Prince Naveen and whatever, because he's like doing whatever he wants, like safe and consensual, whatever. But he gets, like, he isn't happy with his situation, that he talks to the fucking boogeyman or whatever the fuck his name, the guy who's like the shadow man. Anyways, but you know, like, it's imprinted in little kids' heads. Even in the little movies that you watch,
true, man.
you will attain perfect, happily ever after happiness once you find that relationship.
Damn, and that's so unrealistic.
And do you know how many little girls are like, I want to be a princess? The first person that we see who doesn't happen to is Elsa. Like the fucking Ice Queen, and everybody was obsessed with it. What year did that movie come out? Fucking like
long time ago.
It was, but early enough that every single princess movie before it, and her sister too, fucking got into a relationship.
We were talking
and was
about
fine.
this before the podcast, but if the Lorax came out in 2012, was the Frozen not before the Lorax?
No, I don't know. Hold on.
Because I remember Frozen being a little bit old, and it was playing
2013.
Oh, so
it came out
after.
1 year after. 2013 is very.
Why does
late
it still
in
feel
life.
like that movie's relevant? And it was
No,
like
like
almost 10 years
every single
ago.
teenager these days.
Damn.
No, literally every single teenager these
crap.
days still relies, and those movies are still played. Like all those Cinderella and all those
crazy.
movies, they're still played. Why do you think it's become ingrained in our head that I'm in a relationship when I'm my happiest? I'm with somebody else, and I will attain my happily ever after. That is also sometimes why marriage don't work. Like, because you think
Why marriage don't works.
shut the fuck up. But anyway, it's like we're thought, like, because they got married in all these movies, they ended up getting married, and they lived happily ever after.
What does that mean?
Bitch, they don't gotta pay bills.
Yeah.
The Little Mermaid's ass fucking got married in a ship. Do you think this bitch with her prince husband had to worry about debt because of schooling for a job she doesn't fucking work?
It's true.
No,
But
she
you're
goes
right,
swimming with fish.
With fish.
And she like does not give a fuck. Tiana fucking just works in a restaurant, and her husband is a prince, and his parents ended up giving him all the money in the world. The real takeaway from all this is to marry a prince. If any princes are watching,
No, I don't even think that's a good idea.
that's true. The royal families.
Yeah,
Fuck,
they're
they killed
pretty
her.
fucked up, man.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything, you know, crazy, but Princess Diana, we know what happened. We know what happened.
I don't.
I'm not gonna. Well, they
Who's they?
You're gonna get me targeted by these people.
I don't even know.
Who
I know
they
she
know
died
who
in a
they
really
are.
sussy car accident, but who would want to kill her? I know there was an imposter involved in her car accident, but like.
No, it's because, you know what, we'll get into it after. I'm not
All right,
risking
I-
anger of the royal family.
We spent too much of the podcast talking about random fucking shit, but that's
They
okay.
enjoy it. That's what a
Yeah.
podcast is. It's random motherfucking shit.
It is true. But we got to wrap it up because I'm tired, man. I'm
Deadass.
tired.
We have to go not drinking after this. That is not what we are doing. We are going to not drink.
Yeah.
We're going to drink. What? It'll be
For
a
our
good
mental health.
And by drink, I
reading
mean
week,
water,
everybody.
kids.
Yeah, I need to drink a whole bunch of water.
It's
right
reading
now.
week. We have not read one fucking word. I have not. We opened up stats to close it. And
And order food instead.
then overeat and get tired, and now we're going drinking. I have
Sadness.
reached. I don't know if this is my all-time high or my all-time low.
Yeah. Isn't that ever true?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for
We're
tuning into
dipping.
Marvel's podcast.
Thank you guys for coming to my podcast. Do I repeat the shit I said before? No, it's my podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, I love you. If you're watching on if you're watching on or listening on Spotify, I love you even more.
Caught me so off guard.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm in love with all of you. Like, comment, subscribe, favorite, repost, do whatever the fuck he said, and come back to my podcast next time where I won't be present. I don't think he's having me back after this.
No, of course not. Of
uh,
course not, as in you're definitely coming back.
Oh, okay. Then you'd say no.
I did say no.
Oh, okay, you know what? Never mind. Forget it.
Like, of course that's not true. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcasts, we love you.
You should start ending it off like that.
Okay.
We love you guys.
And
More kisses.
make sure to leave us a rating and review. You can check us out on Instagram and TikTok at Reddit Asks Us Podcast. We post new clips of the show every single week.
I had fun. Thank you for being on my podcast.
Thanks a lot for having me on, Marvel. Thanks a lot for everyone for tuning in, and we see you guys later.